What's up, everybody? We got two awesome build tutorials for you today, starting with this grand staircase that is a nice touch for all your haunted mansions you might be building out there. This can be done with free parts. However, the one I'm showing now is using the haunted mansion set. Next up, we have a custom grandfather clock. This thing is really cool. A lot of people on the stream last night were asking for a tutorial, so I'm delivering on that today. You can also put a spin on this. Maybe you just find inspiration, but one important thing to note. So the main component for the grandfather clock is going to be this Roman numerals clock here from the Daily Bugle set. So if you do not have that set, unfortunately, you will not be able to build this as you're seeing it right now. And as always, enough of me yapping. Let's get right into the builds. So for the stairs, we're going to use a solid stair set. And what I mean by that is you can take a look at this one. We have like solid wall attached to it. And then we have this version here that's like open and hollow. We want to use the solid version of the stairs here. Now, there are a limited number of these solid stair sets, but if you want to use a free one, you can use this Majestic Manors Castle Stairs 2. This is the 10x8x6. However, if you have Lion Knight's Castle Bundle, I recommend using the Knightly Stairs 2. So some minor differences here on how we're going to proceed. You can tell too, these are taller. You're going to have to use double the amount of stairs using the free parts, but for this next part, what we need to do is we're going to also grab a thin floor piece. This is the 16x2x1, and we're going to snap one right on the back here. And then we're going to actually stack a second one right on top like this. Whereas, again, we're going to create additional height because these weird stairs, I don't know why they did this, but you need to actually add that thin floor to create a full stair. Whereas on the Lion Knight's Castle Bundle, we actually only need to add one of the 16x2x1 thin floors on the back here. And then just like that, we're going to go here and stack another one of these stair sets here. Now, and I'll show you why we're doing this here in just a second. Like I was saying, if we don't put that thin floor piece on the back of the stairs and you go and snap these in, you're left with this weird little spot there again, where you're only getting like a half of a stair. So if you come back down here where we did that thin floor stuff, you can see that the stair heights are even all the way up on both of these builds. Now, at this point, the desired height is all personal preference. Personally, I found that when using the Lion Knight stairs, doing two stacked up is usually the best aesthetically. And then you can see over here with the free castle parts, I actually did this process 3 times to get a height there. Now, let's go ahead and talk about how we get this look. So for this part, it doesn't really matter what floors you use as long as you follow these same dimensions. In this case, we're going to use these friendly neighborhood ones. I love the color black on this stair set. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with a 12x2x1, and we're going to drop this on the ground right on the bottom step here. And we're going to put it center on there. And then we're also going to put another one here. So we're basically splitting down the middle of the stairs. And then from here, we're going to stack another one on top of it to cover up that part here. So we'll do another one here. Next, we're going to grab the 16x2x1 thin floor, and we're going to set it right on top of the next stair. Now, the perfect alignment here is going to be lining up with the left-hand side of the step you just put down, and then we're going to nudge it over one space, just like this. And then from here, what we're going to do is move over to our 6x2x1 and snap that in. And then we're just going to go ahead and put these right on top of each other. So from this point on, every single step that we're going to be creating, we're going to continue to stack 2 up because we want to hide the stair behind it. Same process here, only this time we're going to do a 12x2x1, again lining up with the outer edge here and nudging in 1. And then we're going to move over to our 8x2x1 and snap that in, stacking them 2 rows high. For our 4th stair, we're going to grab the 12x2x1, same thing here, outer edge, nudge in 1, and then we're going to go on over to the 6x2x1 and snap that in. Now, at this point, what we're going to do next is going to be very, very rinse and repeat. So now all we need to do here is move into our 8x2x1s, and we are just basically going to stack these side by side, 2 rows in height, all the way until we reach the top of our staircase. And then we will go ahead and show you how to add the railings in. One thing to be mindful too is like some of your stairs will have these weird little like notches in them, and that looks kind of awful. So what I suggest doing is just paying attention to the floors you're using. If you have any imperfections like that, just make sure that those are facing towards the back of the stairs. That way, when you stack these up, you can see the difference here. So you'll notice these are like really nice and clean, these 3 up here. But then when you move down here, when I wasn't paying attention to that, you have these strange notches in your stairs. Now we're gonna grab a railing that fits the aesthetic of our particular stair set design that we're going with. Since I'm going all black, I'm just gonna use a black railing. And the position for these is we wanna have it on the corner, or I'm sorry, the stair, like instead of having it towards the back of the stair, you want it towards the front. And we're gonna place this right in the corner and just nudge it over one space. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna find this corner on the part closest to us, nudge it over. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the next step. Same thing here. And then once we actually get a little bit further up, this will be the last one they're actually gonna nudge in right here. We're just gonna put these just behind here on the outer part of these smaller stairs here. And we're just gonna do this for every single step all the way up on both sides. So now here's how your stairs should be looking at this point. Nice clean lines up the side with the railings. This thing can get you up to whatever height you need to go. But before we move forward, we need to talk about cleaning up this outside part. Now that we have all this stuff together, we can actually get rid of these because these are gonna get in the way for us. So let's go ahead and get rid of those connector pieces that we used earlier. They're also gonna look kind of bad with that brown part hanging out from the bottom. Now the other thing too is we can get rid of this part underneath because we have our piece of stairs here connected to the floor. So let's go ahead and get rid of this as well. And then now all we need to do is just add some walls underneath here. Now, this isn't an exact science. Again, it depends on the height of your stairs, where you're placing them, but you get the point here. So we're just gonna close off this gap using some of the granite walls that we have, matching the stairs that we've had, and just fill out all these gaps on both sides. And here's the completed version applied to the mansion I'm currently working on. As you can see, we've got all that nice and clean and lined up with the walls like we just finished. And making our way up here, you can see we've got all our railings in here, and we're attached and connected to a railing up here on this balcony. So super cool thing to add. I definitely let me know in the comments, what color did you go with and what types of floors did you use for this? Now, if you have the parts that's required here for this grandfather clock, then you're going to want this exact material list. That's going to be 8 wooden rods, 13 mahogany, 10 wood, 1 glass, and 2 iron bar. However, if you still follow along with this tutorial, you'll be able to come up with some other concepts and designs if you're missing some of those pieces. So still take a look because you might draw inspiration from it. Okay, so first up, we're gonna get the wood foundation one. This is the 4x4x2. This can be found over in your building parts here under foundations, and we're gonna place one down. Now, if you're up against a wall, you do need to leave at least one little space like this around the entire thing, because next what we're gonna do is gonna go into our floor sections. We're gonna grab a 6x2x1 floor piece. Now, I'm using the acres thin floor. You can also use the wood cabin ones. Whatever's your choice, like you could, as long as it matches, that's totally fine. It just needs to be the 6x2x1, and we're gonna build a nice little frame around the bottom right there. Next, we're gonna go into our walls section here, and we're gonna scroll all the way to the bottom and find our half wall section. Now, I already have this in my favorites. I just wanted to show you in case you're new where to get these, but we're gonna use any 2x2x6, and we're gonna just place 4 of these on top of our foundation block, just covering the entire top portion of it. Next, let's make our way into fences. Now, if you don't have this 2-door fence piece though, we can go ahead and use this medieval railing down here. It's the medieval railing 1. And we're just gonna follow the similar steps that we're doing with the Tudor fence, but this time you're gonna just put these right next to each other like this. We're gonna put one on the front, and then we're gonna put one on the back here to mirror that front part. Now, if you do have the 2-door fence, we're gonna place one right on the front here and right on the back, just like I was explaining with the medieval railing. From here, we're gonna stay in the fences section. We're gonna grab the 1x1x2 railing corner. Now, I'm using the haunted railing, but as long as you follow the same dimensions here, we're gonna take these railings and we're going to place one on the corner here, and we're gonna put one on the other side here, and then we're gonna fill this entire part out by putting 4 railings right next to each other. So let's go up on top here. This is what it should be looking like. Now for this next part, you can just use another 1x1x2 railing, use the same ones you just used up top, or you can mix it up if you want, but we're going to basically put a nice little border on the outside edge of the clock here. So we're gonna put 2 down there, and then we're just gonna simply go in and stack these on top of each other on both sides until we reach the top of the clock. And then once you have both of these completed, from there what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the back side of the clock and repeat the exact same thing. Now for the actual topper here, we can do this a couple of different ways. Use some other railings or whatever you think looks best. But in this case, we're using the Nightmarish topper from the Halloween Town Hall bundle. And what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna stack this right on top right here. Now, if you would like to make it a little bit more complete, you could put another one around the back, but I ran out of iron bars, so we're just gonna leave that up front like this. And for the most critical part of this build, it's in the daily bugle section here. Now we're going to move over to decorations and we're going to find wall decorations. We're going to have this Roman numerals clock. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to raise it up and we're going to nudge it back right there. And so just like that, we have our nice haunted, spooky grandfather clock. If you enjoyed these tutorials, you're going to definitely want to check out some of the other ones, including this sliding bookshelf that we have here. This is your one-stop shop for all the cool Lego Fortnite ideas, including flying ships, buildings, rides, you name it, boats. We got it all. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.